I think that it's been a long time coming, and ever since I was younger, I knew this day was going to be here, and I prepared my family for it so that I'm able to be here to help in any way that I can, especially with all the racism that's surfacing in Canada now after what the Prime Minister said.
The barricades must now come down. The injunctions must be obeyed, and the law must be upheld.
And what was it, the day after, we had people having hate rallies and showing up with signs like they got the courage to show their true colors after the Prime Minister basically declared war on our people. As soon as they're inconvenienced, they think it's something similar to what we're going through, but like Chief Voss said, you know, there's a difference between inconvenience and injustice, and you can't get them mixed up. And what's going on is a great injustice, even with what's going on here in Tyendinaga with the OPP possibly coming in to apprehend people that are on reservation land, even though this is all our territory. If that were to happen, they have no idea how big this could get. It wouldn't just be a Wetsuweten conflict. Right now we're supporting them, but if they inflict any violence on our people, then it becomes a conflict, and that's a whole different story. We're going to do interviews with everyone at the front lines to see what they have to say about everything going on and how they feel about reconciliation. And we want to start putting these words they say into action, so I guess the campaign would be ReconciliACTION. So right now we're at, I think they call it Camp A, but an individual took it upon himself to come up to the train tracks when they heard about what was happening to our relatives out in Wetsuweten Territory when the RCMP began to raid the camps along the way. An individual came out here and just told the train, "You shall not pass. Nothing's blocked. If you look at the tracks, there's nothing blocking the train tracks. Everyone's on the side of the tracks, but they keep calling it a blockade." So with what's happening now, we're on our 3rd week. It's the longest rail shutdown in Canadian history, right? People have been here from the beginning, but there's more people coming in to show their support, and it's become almost like a village here. If you look around, people have their tents, they have wood stoves, they're sheltered here, they're living here. People are here 24/7 making sure that no trains come through until RCMP leave Wetsuweten Territory, which was agreed by the Hereditary Chiefs. When we spoke with them, they told us that was their wishes, for the RCMP to leave their territory and for CGL and the province and the federal government to sit at the table with them for negotiations. And until the time that they tell us that they have kept their word, the Canadian government and the RCMP, whenever the Wetsuweten Chiefs say that it's okay for us to leave, that's when we'll leave. But as of right now, nobody's going anywhere. Today we're going to ask you a few questions in regard to our ReconciliACTION campaign, and feel free to say anything you want. I'm just going to start with some questions so that we can catch all the points that we're trying to get across. So our first question is, can you tell me about yourself?
My name is Robert Lazor. I'm a Mohawk of Wet'suwet'en. I was raised in Ottawa, though, but we've always kept in touch with our roots and our community through socials and ceremonies and stuff. I'm here because the truth needs to get out, and Canada needs to be educated on the injustices towards our people from Canada itself, especially under the Trudeau government.
So I think you touched on a couple more questions. Yeah, but I'll still ask the questions in case something else comes to mind. So when did you begin to assert your rights as an Ungwahue?
I think it was the summer of 1990 I started to look at things differently, politically, to realize what our rights are as Ungwahue people. And it was from that point forward that, in the last 30 years of taking basically baby steps and coming back to the land, to the people, and to our customs, and realizing what my rights are as a human being, as a Mohawk. I'm not going to say in this country because Canada is a corporate state. Well, we're looking at mainstream media way over there. We're not letting them in because of they're not being responsible with their reporting. They're trying to create drama and sensationalism for their readers. And that's not good at all. But as you can see by having these children here, they, today's children, they know so much. They know the truth. Children can see and feel these things. And you know, we've been getting a lot of parents bringing their kids in. It's, like I said earlier, it's really refreshing, and gives me a lot of hope to see that they're coming in here and they know the truth for what it is.
What have you learned along the way being involved in these actions?
Canada lies a lot. Yeah.
So, how do you identify with the Wet'suwet'en struggle?
Well, it's the same struggle as ours, huh? All across Turtle Island, not even in North America, Central America, South America. It's all the same story. You know, we're running out of fossil fuels, and now they're going after the lithium in Bolivia. All the countries are using necessity to go after the clean drinking water, while the pipelines are poisoning our rivers and lakes and taking away our freedoms to fresh drinking water. So we're going to have to pay $100 a case in the next 10 years for a case of water. Yeah. That's where I see it going.
Yeah. Well, they already talked about having wars for water, right?
Yeah.
And here we are. So, do you have anything to say to the Canadian public and or the Canadian government?
So to the Canadian public, educate yourself. You know, we're human beings just like you, and we have the same needs and desires. You know, we want to live our lives the way we want to live our lives, not under Canada's a dictatorship, and Canada needs to back the F off.
So here is one of the food tents. I believe this is the only one. I have to double check because I heard there was a new one, because there's so much food, people supporting from outside the community, non-Indigenous and Indigenous alike from all over the world are coming here to show their support and bringing food. As you can see, there's a lot of it. So it shows that there's a lot of support. And I don't think we can eat it all, so if you can get down here and help us eat some of the food, that'd be great. And here's where a lot of the land protectors, are staying. They've made themselves at home. We got tents that have wood stoves in them and cots so they can stay warm at night whenever they do shift change. We got this tent, I'm not sure if it's heated, but they're pretty comfortable here. And there's a lot of supplies, a lot of fires to keep them warm. So we're not growing without. There's everything they need here. Food, no running water, but a lot of bottled water. But unfortunately, that's not an option they have in this community, to have clean, fresh running water. Right here is that infamous tow truck that's worth $10 million. You can look it up on, is it Auto Trader? But all the Hereditary Chiefs and Frida Houston and some people that were here when they visited all signed the front of this tow. So as you can see right here, there's Frida's signature, and then Smogoldem. And we got all kinds of signatures on here, people that support them. And then the one thing I wanted to point out is the train tracks. If you look, there's nothing blocking the train tracks. It's perfectly clear. There's only one incident where some Canadian citizens took it upon themselves to chop some trees down and throw them on the tracks down there a little bit, and they burnt it with a Canadian flag. But that wasn't us. That was people from Canada trying to show how they feel. And then as you can see down there, that's where the media and the OPP are stationed. They've been there since the beginning. The OPP, not sure how much they're being paid by the hour, but it's a lot. And they just sit there and they watch us all day, not breaking any laws. We stay on this side only to not really acknowledge the Canadian law, but in a way to respect it and to keep our people safe, because we know that this is our territory and that the res line isn't where, like, that's not where our rights end. But we also know the violence that they would inflict upon us if we chose to go over on that side. So this is what we do under duress, and the decisions we make to keep our people safe is we chose to stay on this side. But yesterday when there's people with signs, there's community members that took it upon themselves to make a checkpoint on that side to keep them from coming in. And the cops were okay with it. They didn't do anything because they were well aware of who was showing up with their hate signs, standing next to the police cars. But everyone's allowed to speak their voice